Nancy's going to take their home pictures. Isn't that pathetic? Hey, Grace, you look pretty good.
Okay, Nancy, why don't you lead us off? Tell us the occasion and the theme.
This is the Lush Bimbo Show. The leftist female woman's answer to that asshole Rush Limbaugh.
Sybil, let me get your outfit.
Oh, you're right.
I'm so glad I could come to your party, Nancy. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, Shannon, wait, Shannon.
I love that shit.
Wait, Shannon.
What, here.
Grace popped up here.
Wait.
Come on, Grace, you got it.
She's coming, Grace.
Grace.
Oh, let me hold my
Take it
stuff.
with mine, too, there, Seb.
Do you see why we don't do this one in a restaurant? I have my other red shoes in the car still.
Oh, yeah.
Taking my hair off.
Well, did you take it? I wasn't even looking.
Well, that's
I borrowed it from Candy Words.
She had it?
She had it. She was going to wear it today, but she loaned it to me.
I didn't sign it.
There's
There's lots of
You should have signed it, Tab.
I think you need to do that.
Yeah.
I do too.
You do, Sid. You need to sign
On the
it.
balls? Or on the end? Tattoo, a little heart there.
That'll go in perfectly with the theme for one of my.
Oh, my God. Now, where are Steel Magnolias?
It's right next to Coopersmith. It used to be
okay.
BJ. Oh.
I gotta get the light out.
She's got to get herself ready.
Well, I know that when you get older, Nancy, you forget how to do some things, and you just kind of, your mind wanders. And so I decided that I was going to get you something that, in case you and Jack ever forget how to do things around the house, etc., that you could always go to your jewelry box and get this little gift that I bought for you in Cozumel, and take it out and look at it, and then it will remind you what you're supposed to do. Now, I was thinking about having it made into a pin or made into a charm, but I didn't know if Mr. Turner would want to do that because, those of us who know Mr. Turner, he's kind of straight-laced, and so I thought I would leave that little job to you, but I do hope that you like this, and I'm presenting this from the finer jewelry department in Cozumel, and it's really a very special piece of jewelry.
Is this the same
so-
place where I bought Nancy's piece of sculpture?
Well, it could be, but this is just, it's breaking my heart to part with it. But before I give it to you, I do need to ask the rest of the birthday group if they please put up their right hand and repeat after me. I promise.
I promise.
Never to tell Tom.
Never to tell Tom.
Who gave this gift to Nancy.
Who gave this gift to Nancy.
Amen.
Amen. I'm a liar, you know.
I got my fingers.
They flash.
That means it's on.
Now they're off.
All right.
They're moving.
Yeah, they're moving.
Okay, then push the button again.
And only leftist answer to that right-wing crazy Rush Limbaugh, the warm and wonderful, the womanly, the famous, the female feminist, that very brave, bombastic bimbo, Lush Bimbo! So let's bring her out here for her usual political statements of the day, and then she'll let you in on the very special surprise program we have for you today. To here's a Lush Bimbo! Let's hear a big hand!
Oh, yes, I am so glad to be here today. We have a very special program for you today. We have had a few letters from the birthday club out in some army base in some western state. It's called Fort Collins. There must be a bunch of army wives. Well, they have a friend who's going to have a 50th birthday, and I decided if Willard Scott for the Today Show can do things for the 100-year-olds, we ought to be able to do things for the 50-year-olds. But before I do that, I want to just put a little political statement because I have to counteract this damnable Rush Limbaugh, So I just want to put out the awards of the year. Once a year, in honor of our foremothers and the suffrage movement, I give these 5 awards. And they're very competitive, and we had a lot of competition this year. But the Patriarch of the Year award goes to Bob Young. Now, these are true stories, ladies. I'm not making this up. Remember, he's the Houston Oilers' very offensive blind coach who trashed this young player, Dave Williams, for missing a game to see the birth of his son. Do you remember that? Well, quote Young, he said, "Well, it's like World War II when your guys are going to war and something would come up, but they had to go." I mean, this asshole's comparing a football game to a war. Well, anyway, he was clearly out of his head. So he was AWOL of his sentence, and so we got him an adult-sized pacifier to keep in his mouth until the next NFL D-Day. Now, the Sleeping with the Enemy award, and I love this, belongs to none other than Marta Fitzgerald. Do any of you know who she is? She's the aerobic instructor who just became the 3rd wife of Rush Limbaugh in a service conducted by no other than Clarence Thomas. Well, before the honeymoon was over, we rushed her a pillow slip made of a hair shirt. And our profound hope that all Rush needs is the love of a good feminazi. A woman. Now, the Stand By Your Man kit, a doormat and complete set of Tammy Wynette t-shirts, goes this year to Amy Christensen of Vernon, Connecticut, after her boyfriend kidnapped her 2 kids, and the police chase dangled one out the window. And then she said, "It's like if your father did something to you, you would still love him." Oh. Well, as for the Double Standard Award, this year our award winners came on foot. The prize goes to the makers of Talkables. Have you all heard of Talkables? The talking sneaker. Hit a button on the boys' sneakers and it goes, "Varoom." Hit a button on the girls' sneakers and it says, "I love you." We sent them a first edition copy of You Just Don't Understand. Okay, the Blind Justice Award. Always suspenseful goes to Judge Doug Meyer of Tennessee, who released a rape suspect who once heard voices telling him to rape. Now, the suspect doesn't need a guardian, said the judge. He needs a girlfriend.
Oh.
Would you have said that Jeffrey Dahmer needed a good meal? Well, enough of my political statements. Let's get on with this birthday party. Now, it seems to me the group of women could just take this, well, what's her name to begin with? Nancy Verywild. Nancy Verywild. Well, it seems she's kind of an enigma because on one side, these people tell me that she won't even say the word shit. She will not say the word S-H-I-T. But on the other side, she seems to have kind of a, kind of a fairly formidable phallic fetish fantasy syndrome. I mean, I hear she gives pickles for Christmas ornaments. She loves the cucumber in all shapes and forms. She gives horn with balls to people. I mean, most people picture Santa Claus with wreaths and all this, but no, this girl has a Santa Claus that's holding pickles, cucumbers, and dildo. But anyway, she won't say shit. She won't say shit. Well, anyway, this army base, or wherever it was, they send them their little ditties, and they want me to do them on the air. They wouldn't sign them, mind you. Oh, by the way, and one of the members has flown all the way to New York. Or she had to bribe me. She's also a Nancy. Nancy, very simple in Brown or Jones or Smith or something like that. And she is here. She's a nervous wreck. She's an absolute nervous wreck. So you'll have to be very kind to her when she comes out. But until then, they want me to read all these little things that the rest of the club said. Like, for instance, get this. Jack and Jill went up the hill and Nancy's Nada's daughter. The twins and Kelly came too and Bud is Nada's father, Nancy's father. Profound. I mean, isn't it? Can you imagine? I can see why they didn't sign that. Well, then there's a potpourri on Nancy B. No chronological order. The margaritas she inhales when she's south of the border. Sounds like she's a little sweet in the north and a little devilish down south, you know. Oh, a little bit of a blush here maybe, but what the hell. Oh, and then someone else sent a little ditty. It said, with lack of grace, she broke her nose. She also broke her toe. She had a cast on toe and face and was blind as where to go. Sounds like a real klutz to me. Oh, no wonder they wanted me to read this down. Oh, not only is this woman turning 50, she's married to a lawyer. Now, I won't bore you with a lawyer joke. We've all heard them, so I won't even bother you with that. Now, have you all heard of isms? There's all sorts of isms. There's optimism, pessimism, Protestantism, Catholicism. Well, it seems that there's a birthdayism that I want to give. This Mrs. Very Wild, but I heard that she had taken a religious course one day and she couldn't keep her religion separated. So I thought I'd give her these little memory crutches as to how to keep these religions separated. But I think it's an easy way to remember your religion, but I doubt if she uses it because she won't say that word. But anyway, I thought I'd explain it this way. Taoism. Shit happens. Then there's Protestantism. Let shit happen to someone else. That's why I'm a Protestant. Then there's Catholicism. If shit happens, you deserve it. You know the old guilt thing, the nun cracking you over the knuckles with you. And then Judaism. Why does shit always happen to us? Which is true, which is true. And then atheism, no shit. And then there's TV evangelism, send more shit. And then there's Buddhism, if shit happens, this is not really shit. And then Zen Buddhism, what is the sound of shit happening? And then Hinduism, this shit happened before. But anyway, birthdayism for Mrs. Very Wild. 50? Holy shit. Oh, and one of the members there, she came from Wisconsin, the town of Antigo, Wisconsin. Who's ever heard of Wisconsin? I mean, New Yorkers, we don't ever get west of the Mississippi. But one gal sent in this little song, excuse me, and it's the takeoff on Wisconsin, and goes like this. From Wisconsin, town was Antigo. She went right off to college to Colorado. Oh, a bunch of hippies in the 60s, baby boomers all. And they inhaled and were not asexual. Two negatives make the positive, get that? When in Boulder she got older, pledged Pi Beta Phi, ring ching ching. Barry Jackson, he was handsome, worked at FBI, that's later. They had 4 kids, 2 were boy twins, Kelly first, then Jill. He'd better get his penis so it's nil. Speaking of penis, we have been speaking of penis a little bit at this luncheon I heard they had. So anyway, I just wanted to ask you a question that I've been thinking about a long time. Is the penis obsolete? Well, the other day I courageously condemned on this very program the new fad of a penile implant enhancement. You know, the penile implant. Well, I reasonably pointed out that this male organ is the ugliest appendage of the male human body, even uglier than the big toe. And the only conceivable way to enhance it is to make it smaller, not larger. As a result of that program, a woman called the studio and said, "You didn't go far enough." Then she recounted how heroic surgeons, as we all know, in a 10-hour grueling operation, reattached the penis of John Wayne Bobbitt after his wife Lorena had locked it off. And the caller said, "What for?" What for indeed? By all accounts, he was a macho ex-Marine given to drink, and according to Mrs. Bobbitt, sexually assaulted her. Well, the question here obviously is, would Mr. Bobbitt be a better man without a penis? Well, the answer is an unqualified yes, not only for Mr. Bobbitt, but for all the members of the male race. As I noted earlier, most men spend their lives following this thing around. It leads into wars, into fistfights, and messy divorces. And when it comes to all the ills stemming from the population explosion, it clearly shares at least half the blame. Well, now downsizing these unsightly instruments of disaster may be aesthetically correct, but it's unquestionably a wishy-washy half-measure. We'll never achieve a kinder, gentler world until we are rid of them entirely. Now, can you imagine Teddy Roosevelt charging up San Juan Hill without a penis? I think not. When Joey Budafuckle, a little Freudian slip there, had lured poor Amy Fisher to that motel room merely to discuss the Red Sox pitching? Don't be silly. And look what Prince Charles' penis has done to him in the British Empire. Well, with artificial insemination at every corner clinic, penises are no longer necessary. They get in the way of a well-tailored suit, they are prone to injuries from zippers, and they tend to itch, as any baseball fan will tell you. Well, true, eliminating them would reduce the number of women attending the ballet. But it would also eliminate penis envy. A woman I know once defined penis envy as going camping with a man in the snow. But most rewarding of all, of course, would be the elimination of sex. Today, the average male devotes 25.6 hours a week to sex. 25 hours thinking about it, and if he plays his cards right, 0.06 do it. It's a wonder men ever found a moment or two to invent the thermonuclear bomb. Well, not only does sex consume monumental portions of their time and energy, but it swallows up a vast share of their productivity. It is estimated by me that sex accounts for 68.2% of our gross national product, including gross advertisements, gross movies, gross fashions, and Madonna. Well, eliminating sex would eliminate our 4 trillion national debt in a twinkling and leave enough left over to buy every man and woman in the country a complete set of Ozzie and Harriet tapes. Well, so it is up to us women here who know men, who say they care for the welfare of this country and the future of the human race, to get those men to lay their principles and their family jewels on the chopping block. Okay, guys out there, who's first? All right, now I'm going to leave, and I'm going to send in this Nancy Brown, Joan Johnson, what the hell, her W, but be kind. She's very good, very good. So let me move this over here. Oops, I better have a little. Oh, I gotta get the. Is the camera on? Oh, that one. Hey, hey, America. Would you let me again? Whoops, I forgot. I hope Nancy appreciates this. Amazing Grace. Oh, go. I should have done this for Grace. Grace, I've done it. Danny boy. Start over. Amazing Nance. She was profound before she became 50. She once was young, but now we've found she's old, like Sim and me. Her folks are bud and made of mates. Her sons are Jeff and Mark, with bud and mated being lifelong mates. They gave Nancy all her spark. Isn't this sweet? Nancy owned a T-shirt that she wore. It went from her neck to her legs. The motif on that shirt you would abhor. It featured 2 fried eggs. Now Nancy's so sweet, it makes one sick. She never says S-H-I-T, nor uses that F word, the one that's really ick. But horn with balls, she'll give me. At Christmas time, pickles are in their Nancy specialty. That horn with balls that looks like sin won't hang on my Christmas tree. Oh, a as old and as wrinkled as you and me. This girl we call our own, and her hip really hurts, and we shall hear her groan. Her youth is demolished beyond repair. This 50-year-old is beyond compare. Her hips knitting while she's sitting. Next to her, we're not so weather-bitten. This doll that won't perish, this girl that we cherish must be. Her nails be polished, and in her hair she wears a dark collar, but you beware, that collar's not her own. But you have to admit that it's never two-toned. She married Jack Barronwald, what a pair, and 4 kids came later. She's quite a mare, the straight arrow who was narrow. Pregnancy means she needs a wheelbarrow. Those twins she did carry. Thank God Jack did marry Nancy. While skiing over rocks, her skis never chipped. While pregnant, she skied with her pants unzipped. She was 4 months along. She wore ski boots, no laces, that zipper was strong. Her talents with yard work are well renowned. She mows all the grass that is in her lawn. But gears were stripping, her eyes splitting. From her mouth there were swear words a-spittin'. She found herself slipping, 'cause accident prone she must be. She's famous for driving her great big van to Santa Fe. Hilton had quite a band, a driver all our own. She reads all the maps and she gets all of us home. Her tennis is famous from coast to coast. Her angle shot gives her fame the most. But she's been known to double fault too. But she never says shit, she says oh poo. That's all I can sing now for our popular gal Nancy. I think, as a little finish here, we ought to have Miss Pie Baby Pie come up and sing Ring Ching Ching, don't you? We gotta hear Ring Ching. You see what that? Yeah, gotta hear Ring, don't you think she should do? Oh, come on, sing Ring Ching.
Sing ring
Oh,
ching ching.
The Alpha B has their slap bangs, here we are again.
Start when I was
Are you in college?
I belong to the Pi Beta Phi Ring Ching. And then I can only
I know, I
get the
can't
chorus.
remember. I just,
Can't
you
you
sing ring ching ching ring ching.
Yeah, ring ching ching ring ching. Oh, you have to go ring ching ching ring ching ching. Pi Beta Phi, like a Pi Beta Phi.
You a Pi Beta
Pi Beta Phi, ring ching ching ring ching ching. Pi Beta Phi, we belong to the Pi Beta Phi ring ching.
Oh, Alpha B had a slap bang area again to this stupid song. Okay, Grace now.
I'd like to present this from the group, and this little button says it took 50 years to look like this.
All right.
Thank you, thank
I
you
gotta
all.
take a picture of this.
Yeah, that's a pretty
And
one,
I
Grace.
miss I don't really miss tennis, but I miss all of you. So maybe I'll come out and watch you play.
Yeah, we don't get to see as much.
Thank you.
That color looks good on you.
Yeah,
That purple.
good.
You can wear it
Thanks
to the
for
next.
filming, Doc.
Can I catch a cold in Greece? Sorry about